Hi, so today we'll explore the differences between IELTS academic and IELTS general training tests. Both IELTS academic and general training consist of 4 sections. There's listening, reading, speaking, and writing. Both versions share an identical listening and speaking section. The total test time for both is also the same, 2 hours 45 minutes. The key difference, however, lies in the reading and writing sections, which we'll explore in detail. But before that, talking about the purpose of the test, IELTS academic is designed for those who are planning to study at an undergraduate or postgraduate level. It's also required for professional registration in fields like medicine and nursing. On the other hand, the IELTS general training is ideal if you're planning to migrate to an English-speaking country, seeking work experience or studying below degree levels. So let's begin with the similarities in academic and general training writing sections. All right, so the writing tests consist of 2 tasks that last about 60 minutes, 1 hour. In both the versions, task 2 is weighted more heavily, contributing twice as much as task 1 to your overall writing score. Now, in the academic version, task 1 requires you to describe visual information. It could be a graph, table, chart, or a diagram. You must write at least 150 words in about 20 minutes using an academic style. However, the general training task 1 is quite different. You will write a letter in response to a given situation. It could be a personal, semi-formal, or formal one, depending on the context. You still need to write at least 150 words in about 20 minutes. But the style will vary based on who you're writing to, who your recipient is. All right. The academic task 1 basically tests your ability to organize and present data, describe processes, explain mechanisms, and provide overview of visual information. It's focused on skills you need in an academic environment. In contrast, the general training task 1 assesses your ability to communicate effectively in everyday situations. This includes requesting or giving information, expressing personal preferences, and conveying opinions or complaint. I hope that's understood. So we move now. All right. We'll talk about task 2. Moving on to task 2, the academic version requires you to write an essay on an academic topic. You will need to write at least 250 words in about 40 minutes, maintaining an academic or semi-formal style throughout. The general training task 2 is similar in structure. So you would basically have to talk about, you'll have to write an essay on a topic of general interest, right? So you'll be aiming to write at least 250 words in about 40 minutes. The style here should be semi-formal. All right. All right. All right. So we were saying, and we were discussing about the academic task 2. We do know now what we are asked for. So the academic task 2 basically tests your ability to engage with complex ideas, justify your opinions, compare evidences, evaluate arguments, and all using an appropriate academic language. However, the general training task 2 focuses more on everyday communication skills. You'll be assessed on your ability to provide information, discuss problems and solutions, express opinions, and engage with ideas using an effective language. To summarize, the key difference lies in the focus and purpose of each test. The academic version prepares you for university level study, while the general training version is geared towards everyday communication. Now coming to the listening section, which is identical for both the versions. It consists of 4 sections with a total of 40 questions. You'll have about 30 minutes to listen. and answer the questions. All right. Now we move on to the reading section. So let's start with the similarities again. Both reading sections last for 1 hour and contain 40 questions. In both versions, you must transfer your answers to the answer sheet within the allotted time. And the total text length is also the same in both sections, ranging from around 2,150 to 2,750 words. The academic reading test features three long texts of equal length. They are taken from authentic sources like academic books, journals, reputed online sources. Um, all right. Um, the topics are of general interest, but at a level suitable for university entrance. You may also encounter non-verbal materials like graphs or diagrams. In contrast, the general training reading section is structured into three sections of increasing difficulty. All right. Now, section 1 may have 2 or 3 short texts or several very short texts. Section 2 contains 2 texts, while section 3 has 1 long text. Now, the general training tests come from everyday sources. Section 1 uses materials you would encounter in daily life. Section 2 is focused on workplace documents. And Section 3 uses longer tests similar to, those in the longer text similar to those in the magazines or company handbooks. All right. Academic reading texts are generally more complex. They have sophisticated vocabulary, and they discuss abstract contexts. If you might have some technical terms for which a glossary would be provided. The test structure is often more intricate, and it reflects that academic writing, the whatever you read would be very academically written, right? In general training, the complexity increases across sections. Section 1 uses simple language. Section 2 is slightly more complex. Section 3 approaches the academic level, but remains more or less straightforward. Okay. Now, let's discuss the question types. The academic reading test uses a variety of question types. They range from multiple choices and true and false questions to more complex tasks like matching headings and completing diagrams and whatnot. The general training section uses similar questions as that of academic. However, there's more emphasis on the general training section also uses similar questions, similar types of questions as academic. However, there's more emphasis on scanning and finding specific information in earlier sections, with more inferential questions in section 3. Now, let's talk about what they want to assess here, okay? Because that is important. You must know what you're being assessed for. The academic reading test assesses your ability to understand main ideas, detailed information, intricacies, and implications. It tests if you can recognize the writer's opinions to follow the development of an argument. In general training, section 1 focuses on scanning specific information. Section 2 test your understanding of workplace texts, and section 3 tests similar skills as academic, but in more everyday context, right? So that must be kept in mind. Moving on to the speaking section, which is the same in both versions. We have 3 parts, 11 to 14 minutes, one-on-one with an examiner. In the academic one, they'd look for more intricate academic language structuring skills, whereas in general training, you'd be assessed on the basis of day-to-day conversations. It's not so difficult to crack any of these exams But you now do know the focus of these exams, which will better help you decide on what to take further. I hope you enjoyed the lecture. I'll be sharing the presentation with you. And do let us know if you're trying to write any of these exams. Thank you so much. That's all for today.